Hello folks, this is Lewis speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is a double up game played together with Antisocialmunky. In this game, we're going to be looking at a Dazzler and Disco team composition with a little bit more emphasis on the Dazzler side of things. This game is going to be referred to as Give 'em the Old Razzle Dazzle. Now, if you saw the introductory portraits on the loading screen there, you might have noticed that I was recently able to make it up to the diamond borders. So thanks to all of the people who have been queuing with me in double up mode who have helped get me there. Antisocialmunky, JDP El Grillo, and Symbol have done the most games. Then a couple other people I think have done one or two here or there. This is, by the way, the new portal loot subscription. It basically means that we get extra loot. What does this one specifically do? It's one of the new portals that they introduced. I'm going to have to go ahead and take a look at this and see if I can pull that up. But in any case, though, so we are getting close to the top of the ladder, and that means that the games definitely get harder here. At the start of every set, we get kind of a bunch of easy games. They're just kind of like pretty relaxed. I think we were able to go on like a big... I don't know, 15 match winning streak, or 15 matches in a row of first or second place, because at the beginning of the set, they're just not really all that interesting. The games are just not all that difficult. But by the time you get kind of at this point, Diamond is not even the top 1% of the double up ladder. It's a little bit less than that. So, but we can just say more or less it's like the top 1% of the double up ladder. So, you start seeing some strong teams and it gets harder. Anyway, this is loot subscription. Every stage gain random loot from a highly varied pool. We were hoping we would not get this one. It is effectively a little bit like Halls of the Nine, which is a portal from set 9 that I did not care for very much. Basically, you just get additional loot at the start of each stage, so it accelerates econ. It means everybody has stronger boards. Not a huge fan of that. All right, well, as far as what we have here, I did get a Lux to drop. I also picked up a Bruiser Tom Kench to just be generic strong front line for the early game. Very happy with that. I can play basically anything behind that. Some compositions work a little bit better with the Tom Kench than others, but you can basically play almost anything behind that. And then over there on Antisocialmunky's board, he has been getting a lot of punk units. I've already sent him a Jinx, and now I have just this random 2-star Vi, so he's going to look to play punk this game. I do have a Lux and I do have a Nami on my board, so I was thinking maybe I can play something that synergizes with that. And then I see this, the old Razzle Dazzle. The damage over time from your Dazzlers lasts 2 seconds longer and deals 100% more damage. Gain a Nami and a Bard. So this is the specific Dazzler augment. Now, this synergizes with the Dazzler trait, and it just means that what the Dazzler trait does is stronger as far as how things work. By the way, I apparently got a boot at the start of this stage, so we did not get any loot on the start of this stage from that initial portal. As a refresher on how Dazzler trait works, let me go ahead and cover that. We're actually on the first days of the patch after the long winter holidays patch. There was a patch that was released at the beginning. What are we, about the second week of January? And we finally had a patch after being on the winter holidays patch for like 5 weeks. So we are now on a new patch. And one thing that happened was a whole bunch of the Dazzler units did actually get buffed in this patch. Anyway, Dazzler traits, just to refresh memory of that. Dazzler abilities reduce the target's damage by 10% and deal bonus magic damage over 2 seconds. So it's a debuff, whoever they damage, that reduces their target's damage. And then Dazzler units also deal bonus magic damage. That's on their ability, so it's not on their auto attacks. It's just when they use their ability, they debuff the enemy target, and they deal bonus magic damage. At lower ranks, this is not that significant. Dazzler 2 is only 20% more magic damage. Dazzler 4 goes to 60%. If you can get to Dazzler 6, it's 100% magic damage, and it starts being really significant. And then give him the old Razzle Dazzle means that the bonus magic damage lasts not over 2 seconds, but over 4 seconds, and the benefits are doubled. So instead of 20% magic damage for Dazzler 2, it's 40% magic damage. So at higher ranks, this starts being pretty significant. This was a perfect a perfect situation to play this because I already had the Lux in here, and I actually have enough Namis to just play Nami 2-star out of the gate. So we'll just be working off of that there. I was able to win my initial round. I'm hoping that I can maybe win streak a little bit. There were a couple changes put in place in this recent patch, the post-winter holidays patch, to try and make it so lost streaking is not quite as strong as it's been previously, but a lot of people are still not really trying to win in the early game, fielding pretty weak boards and just if not deliberately open forting, which is when you just play don't units at all, still not really trying to play particularly strong boards, and just trying to loss streak instead. A couple things that they did. One thing they did is if two players both are running an empty board, so if two people are both open forting and they hit each other, previously what would happen is one person was randomly declared the winner and the other person was randomly declared the loser. It was actually better to lose in that situation because if your board is completely empty, you're trying to loss streak, you want the loss in that situation. This was just really weird and kind of counterintuitive, and it was pretty stupid. So they've changed it now. If two empty boards hit each other, they both are credited with a loss. They both take damage, and any win or loss streak that the boards are on is reset back to 0. So it's like, yeah, you both get a loss, but your loss streak gets reset back to 0. So that is not what you would want if you're loss streaking. So people just not playing any board at all has gone down a little bit since they made that change. The other thing that they did was they made it so streaking is less beneficial, or rather you have to be on longer streaks in order to get the benefit. It's basically you need one additional round of win streaking or loss streaking to get the additional gold. Instead of needing to be on a 2-match win or loss streak to get the extra gold, you have to be on a 3-match. And then at the max benefit, previously it was you had to win or loss streak 5 rounds in a row to get the max benefit. Now it is 6 rounds. I am okay with these because it's hard to go on a guaranteed win streak. Most of the way that people were exploiting this was just going on a guaranteed loss streak, which is not something that I want to do. The other thing that it did is it takes just more gold out of the game early on, which I also think is going to think there was maybe a little too much gold in the game early on. And it means that actually just winning rounds is more beneficial. If there's less gold from win streaks, just flat out winning the rounds is more beneficial because remember, you get 1 gold every time you win a round. So just flat out being strong and winning rounds is a little bit better. All right. So back to the actual action. I haven't talked too much about what was going on so far. I did win the first 3 rounds. Thankfully, ASM was able to come and reinforce on that last round because I was definitely not going to win that last round. I'm basically just hanging out behind the Tom Kench, relying on Tom right now to just be super tanky. I'm going to put a Warmogs on him. With him having Bruiser trait doubled, that means he gets the extra health that gets amplified. Basically amplifies the benefit of the Warmog. So he's just super duper tanky here in the early game. I don't really have much damage behind that. I'm actually kind of weak behind that. As you see a Gragas come over from Antisocial Monkey's board. Pretty weak behind that, so I'm kind of leaning on Dazzler trait to do some additional damage right here. It's most noticeable when Lux ults, but like when she puts her ult on something, you'll see a lot of ticking damage afterwards. It like ticks for the next 4 seconds. You see all these little number 4s ticking up on everybody else after she gets her ult off. So, as I said, my damage output not really that great right now. I have pretty good crowd control with the Nami bubbles and then whatever the heck Bard's doing with his little sound maker over there. But I seem to have just enough frontline to be able to win this round as well. And that's pretty nice because I am on this modest little win streak. Oh, not that modest. 4 rounds is pretty decent. But I'm on a pretty decent win streak. And now I'm just looking to try to 2-star some more of my units and go from there. We're just going to try to push Econ, get up to level 7, ideally level 8. I'm hoping I will not have to roll until I get to level 8. And then we'll try to find a Twisted Fate headliner and go from there. Because I have give them the old Razzle Dazzle augment, I'm hoping to lean more into Dazzler trait and a little bit less into Disco, which are, of course, the 2 traits that Twisted Fate has. But, you know, we'll just have to play flexibly around what we hit. I also decided to put in the Gragas for this round instead of the MF. I'm not sure if it makes a huge difference either way. Gragas does get the Bruiser benefit. It gives me a little bit more frontline. Basically, I trade away a little bit of extra damage in exchange for a bit of extra frontline. In this situation, I'm not sure that was worth it. I think it probably was better to play the MF because I was more hurting for damage than hurting for frontline. But I'm going to be level 6 soon enough, and I'm just going to play both units. So it isn't really going to matter that much. The main thing is just that I win this round. And by the way, Bard actually printed me a coin. He has 1% odds to print you a coin every time he ults. I don't know why that's in the game, but I mean, I'll take it. I'll take 1 extra gold for free. So great shape here at the end of stage 5. I was able to win streak every single round. Unfortunately, I kind of interrupted Antisocial Monkey's loss streaking, so he was not able to go on a streak because he was losing rounds, but then I was winning rounds and coming over, and yeah, not quite what he was looking for. But overall, I'd say it was still a very good stage 2 for us. All right, now you might have noticed I have been putting some items on Nami, and so this is one of the changes that also took place in this patch that we went on. I said that a whole bunch of the Dazzler units ended up getting buffed. Some of the units with Dazzler and Disco, I think it was like 4 or 5 different units got buffed. Nami's damage was buffed. Gragas had his damage buffed. Ziggs had his damage buffed. Taric was buffed as well, though Taric is not a Dazzler unit. By the way, here's a big big gold drop there from that particular minion round. But anyway, these units deal more damage now, and it's more significant for a disco board. By the way, there's a misfortune coming in. Antisocial actually had an MF on his board, and he was asking, should he send it? And I was like, no, it's not a big deal. It's not really a big deal. And by the way, I just randomly get a spatula. I was like, oh, okay. Now I can't really use this spatula. The only thing I could make with it would be maybe a jazz spatula because I am playing Bard. Except, oh no, you can't make a jazz spatula anymore. They changed the recipe in this patch. Yeah, they changed it so that the cloak plus spatula formula is no longer a jazz emblem. It's now a country emblem, and I'll have more to say about this in future games because I'm going to be definitely looking to play more country now. Country got a lot stronger by having a country emblem be makeable. But anyway, yeah, I can't make a jazz emblem, and so that means there's really not anything I'm particularly looking to make. So just hoping at some point I can get another spatula, and then maybe this becomes a tactician's crown. Anyway, back to the Dazzler units getting buffed. As I said, Dazzler units definitely got a bit buffed in this patch, so a lot of them have more damage. And for a Disco Dazzler team composition, this is most significant because it basically means that you can itemize Nami in the early game. And Nami can carry the damage load pretty well on stage 2 and then passably on stage 3. Not great on stage 3, and then she's hopelessly outdated by stage 4. But you can play through Nami in a way that you kind of couldn't before, and that makes it easier. By the way, return on investment is definitely a possibility here. It wouldn't do much for me right now, but down the road I will eventually re-roll this. But I wouldn't probably re-roll until I get up to level 8. So I decided to take the more immediate benefit, which was from the big component grab bag. So I'm going to be able to get some additional components here. And I think this was a solid choice. Basically, this makes me stronger in the immediate future. The other one would have made me stronger down the road. But I think that I'm pretty happy with what I got here. I ended up getting pretty good items. The sword plus the tier is great. I'm going to make a Shojin. That's a pretty good TF item. I've already made an Archangel Staff, which is apparently also a very good TF item. You wouldn't necessarily think so, but TF is kind of a scaling champion. He scales up over the course of the fights, and Archangel Staff actually helps with that quite a bit. So now what I would need for Twisted Fate is I would need another attack speed item, because I don't have any attack speed right now. So I definitely would want something that gives attack speed. Rageblade is okay. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. Gnasher's Tooth is probably the best attack speed item on TF because his mana costs are relatively low. And then, like, Red Buff is not bad either, but I believe that item actually got nerfed in this patch, so it's not quite as good as it was before. So I would just need an attack speed item. Like, Static Shiv could also slot in there and be okay, although not amazing, but it would be, you know, passable. In any case, though, I'm reasonably happy with what I've got here. I also have the send back, so I was really hoping I would hit one more Jinx, and I could send over to Antisocialmunky for Jinx 3-star. Unfortunately, that does not hit, and we wanted to use the send, so I send him one more. That's going to put him on 8 Jinxes. By the way, he's also not opening the orb because he doesn't have bench space. So, and he's also going to send me a Bard for Bard 2-star, so that's kind of nice. I'm going to be using these item sends here. So he is getting there. He's on 8 Jinxes. He needs to hit the Jinx 3-star. His board has been on the weaker side, but if he hits that, he'll definitely start getting stronger. Okay. So as I said, Nami's holding my TF items. The value of her is definitely falling off. She has good single target damage, but you can see she's kind of running into some trouble against this team that has the Crown Guards. They have the Super Crown Guard for their augment, and I was having some difficulty getting these, getting through the front line there. I guess Nami was starting to get through the front line by the end of the fight, but you can see she's just starting to get outclassed by this point in time. Nami is not really intended to be a damage unit. She's really a support unit. Like I said, she'll hang in there for a little while, but she does start to get out scaled. So I'm going to need to be looking to move on to another unit soon. Now, if I could hit Lux 2-star, I could potentially move the items over to her, so that's a possibility as well. These would be good items on Lux, but I'm hoping that I'll find a Twisted Fate, and that would be better for me in this situation. Anyway, though, time for me to go ahead and pick an item here. I don't love most of the items that are left here. As I said, I would like the bow, but the bow gets snapped up, and I was like, maybe the glove, but then the glove gets taken as well. So I was like, well, guess I'm getting a tier. Not that I have much option here. I mean, the tier's fine. Lux would want a tier. TF uses items that build out of tier, so that's not bad. It's just not quite what I was looking for there. Now I'm going to get the gift round from Antisocialmunky, and Spatula is one of the options. So I was like, great, you know, let's go ahead and make the Tactician's Crown. We'll just play another unit. So go ahead and do that. And I will go ahead and put the Taric on the board because he will put Disco trait in play. You can see I really have not been emphasizing Disco. And I mean, Disco would have been nice and all that, but my augment is the Dazzle gives me extra benefit from Dazzler units. So that's why I'm playing through Dazzler units. Just more valuable to have them. And then, you know, this Nami's going to get sold. That's why I have another 2-star Nami on the bench, so I can sell and replace the Nami down the road. Might as well put the tier on so she instantly casts at the start of the fight. Might as well. She's going to get sold, and probably at the beginning of stage 4. Like I said, my econ's pretty good because I went on that big win streak on stage 2. Not quite as good here on stage 3. Loss, win, loss, not nearly as good for streaking purposes. But as I said, I still think I'm in pretty good shape here. I'll be able to go level 7 soon. And then we'll just try to tough it out to level 8 and go from there. Now, this is unfortunate. I'm about to win this round, but then in comes another team reinforcing. Literally, the entire enemy team spawns on top of the Nami, and Tahm Kench is just off there by himself. I'm like, really? I get reinforced and everything pops up on top of the Nami? That's kind of annoying. Ah, well. So I lose another round there, and as I said, that's a bit of a disappointment. As far as what other teams in the lobby are doing, here we've got a gift round for Antisocialmunky, and I believe he takes the component Anvil, if I remember correctly. So here, as I said, in the lobby, we have one team that's win streaking on 95 HP, and what's unfortunate is one of those two players is also looking to play a disco board, so I am going to be contested here in this lobby with disco stuff. So that's a little unfortunate, but it's only one team. You can usually make the board if it's only one team. By the way, there's ASM's board, and he actually also got a spatula from that initial minion round, and he was able to take the glove and make a punk emblem. So he has 6 punk in already, which is great. Now he really needs that last jinx. He needs the 8th jinx, or the 9th jinx, excuse me. He has 8 of them, so that he can get his headliner to combine together with the jinx that's actually holding his items for the 3-star version. So he just needs one more. I'm holding a jinx on my bench, so if he can't find it on his own, I can send it to him in about 3 or 4 more rounds, and that'll do it. But I would prefer to be able to send him a Pantheon to get him closer to 3-star. By the way, here is the person who's playing the disco board, and they've done the same thing. Notice that they are also itemizing Nami as their item holder for future TF. So they also, by the way, have found an early Blitzcrank, so that's a little bit unfortunate because they're going to be competing with me on Blitzcranks. But yeah, at least they haven't found TF yet, so that's good. TF is still in the pool. I may or may not have won that round. I'm not exactly sure, but with Antisocialmunky's help, I'm going to be able to win that one. And there's another Pantheon. So I went loss, win, loss, loss, win, which is not quite what you're looking for. I was like, all right, I'll put this Pantheon on the board for right now. I might as well. After all, the Antisocial is going to want this unit, but I do have a Taric on the board, so that makes Guardian trait. Things that got shifted up in the patch. Previously in the long winter holiday patch, Sentinels were by far the strongest front line, so everybody was playing 6 Sentinels. Sentinel units were just overtuned. All those units got nerfed in one way or another, so now it's back to Guardian and Bruiser front lines, and Sentinel front lines are kind of trash again, which, yeah, is kind of funny. All right, now it's the beginning of a new stage, so we're going to get some big benefit again. I get a 2-star Yone for some reason. I guess that was my benefit, is it gave me a 2-star Yone. So that really does nothing for me, but I guess that was our portals effect for this round. My plan is, so I'm level 7, I'm halfway to level 8. I'm trying to think about what I want to do with some of these. I will go ahead and make the Sunfire Cape and then put a Negatron Cloak on the Tom. So I'm hoping maybe we can get a Dragon's Claw for the last item. I'd be pretty happy with Warmogs plus Sunfire plus Dragon's Claw. I have some other items sitting on my bench, but what I'm planning on doing is I want to roll for a new headliner. I want to go level 8, roll for a new headliner. I wasn't sure how early to do that, but then I'm up against this true damage board here at the beginning of stage 4, and this fight does not go well. The true damage just absolutely murders the Tahm Kench, and I was like, all right, I need to move out of the Nami. The Nami is not doing anywhere near enough damage. My whole team just got shredded there. I need to go get stronger. So this is going to be probably the hardest round of the game, is I have to sell the Tahm Kench headliner, roll it down, find a new headliner, and reconfigure my team. So I'm looking for TF specifically here. Blitzcrank would also be good, but TF is probably the best. Dazzler TF would be the best, but I will certainly take Disco TF. I'll take Cybernetic Bulk. That's good. I'm trying it now. I do get a little extra time because this is an augment round. I'll pick up the Thresh because why not? He seems like a pretty good unit. There's another Thresh. Okay. Not a Kali. There's a set. Maybe playable. All right. There's 2-star Pantheon. I was like, hey, ASM, I got the send back. Here's 2-star Pantheon. That's going to be helpful. And then I see Dazzler Lux. I'm like, all right, well, there's our unit. It's going to be Dazzler Lux. So we'll move these items over to Lux. There's a Blitz. Let's get Blitz on the board. I still have multiple slots. I hit 2-star Thresh, so that's great. We'll put our tank items on Thresh. Then there's a set. We'll get set on the board because we're playing the Gragas. So let's get our tank items on Thresh. Go ahead and do this. And then we need to get our items on Lux. I also need to put Nami back on the board. I have an extra Lux, so let's get her off. Put the actual headliner on, and then move these items over. And that's a pretty good transition. Like I said, I have played this game a lot, but, it's still hard to do. So we've found the Lux headliner. Like I said, we would have preferred TF, but Lux is fine. Gets us up to 5 Luxes. So we now have 4 Dazzler, 4 Disco, 2 Jazz, 2 Bruiser, 2 Guardian. We have a 2-star Thresh holding our tank items. We have a headliner Lux with the Shojin plus the Gunblade plus the Archangels. These are good Lux items. This is just about as good as you can do. I might prefer like a Jeweled Gauntlet in there somewhere, but I think these are quite good. And now I'm just going to look to econ my way up to 50 gold again, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I got the Nami back on the board. I got the 2-star Thresh, so I have replacement frontline, so I'm not just a sitting duck without the 2-star Tahm Kench. Still a lot of 1-stars on this board, but that's fine. We should be able to hit some of the units. We've got the Misfortune that we randomly made earlier just for Jazz trait. I wouldn't say Jazz trait's doing a ton, but we do have 5 traits in play, so that's something. And, we can upgrade from set to a better unit later on. But right now, we just want our econ to try to get back up to 50 gold again. It also takes me a couple of rounds, but I do realize eventually the Tactician's Crown does count as an item. Remember, I took Cybernetic Bulk, so putting items on units gives them additional health. So I actually should just shove that onto one of the units so they get extra health. Set is probably the most logical target. He's a Bruiser unit, so giving him additional health synergizes with his Bruiser trait. Anyway, this fight's pretty close. It looks like the Lux got popped, but Nami's on it with the bubble, and we're going to knock that team down to 1 HP. We actually want to get them out of the lobby because one of them is running Heartsteel, and we want to get them out of the lobby before they can scale up too much further on Heartsteel. All right, so time for another carousel. Is there a TF here? No, there is not a Twisted Fate here, but there is a Sony here. By the way, I'm actually second pick for some reason. I guess because I lost a couple of those runs. I was honestly shocked that I was second pick here, but I'm not going to complain. I'm going to take the Sona, and I was like, oh, Sona, let's just play the Sona. Why not? Sona can fit on this board because Lux doesn't care that much about attack speed, but Twisted Fate sure as heck wants attack speed. Now, Sona did eat some nerfs in this patch. Her attack speed bonus was dialed down a bit, but she's still better than some of this other stuff I can play on the board. And by the way, there's Zac, so we're going to 100% play Zac. Put him on the board. Now we get EDM trait in for Lux. Now we can start sampling Lux's ult. That's nice. Now we got to get Sona on the board somehow. I'm like, what do I play? How do I get Sona on the board? I'm trying to think over, like I could take out Tarek if I wanted to. By the way, there's another Lux coming over from Antisocial. That gets me up to 6 Luxes, so keep that in mind. I am on 6. I decide ultimately I'll take out the Blitzcrank because Blitz is not actually doing anything in this team composition. All he did was take me from Disco 3 to Disco 4, which wasn't really doing anything. As I said, I would like to take out the Tarek. Tarek's probably the weakest unit on the board, but I don't want to lose Guardian trait for Thresh. Having Guardian trait on Thresh when he has a Warmogs is actually quite valuable because the shield that he gets from Guardian 2 is for a pretty substantial amount, and he has, of course, a ton of armor and MR from his Sunfire Cape and his Dragon's Claw. So this time I'm able to stand up to that true damage board that was doing a lot of damage to me earlier. And now I'm going to be able to get over and help Antisocial Monkey's board. By the way, that Lux ult doing a lot of damage right now, especially because that Archangels has gotten stacked up to 150 AP. So yeah, Lux has good items, and we're on 6 Luxes, so maybe we get lucky and find another Lux. That would be awesome. All right, at this point in time, I realize, oh yeah, Tactician's Crown. That should probably go on a frontline unit. So that'll get Zac 300 health. That then gets magnified by Bruiser trait to about 400 health. So that's pretty nice. Just want him bouncing around and then sampling Lux's ultimate. I also do now have to think about positioning Lux in these fights. Lux is the main damage dealer. Remember, Lux fires out these beams. She aims at the furthest target away, so she's always going to aim at the other corner, at least at the start of the fights. So I want her to be aiming at the enemy carry. So like in this fight, that's clearly the Caitlyn. This is another true damage Kate. Watch what happens to Kate when she gets ulted. All right, Kate loses 2/3 of her health, and then tick, 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 tick. Yeah. Dazzler 4 with the old Razzle Dazzle. That's what that does. That extra damage gets applied, so Kate just dies. I don't think she even got an ult off in this fight. And you see how this board just completely falls apart once that happens. One of the nice things about Lux is she does have the ability to hit the back line, so you can kind of use her to snipe carries if the enemy is putting them in the corners. Now, they really should be playing them in the center of the board. You want to put your most important carries generally in the back center. That works well against Lux, as you see Pantheon 3-star getting hit there. It also works well against Akali, too. Akali also tends to target the corners of the board. So usually the back center is the safest point, but I think a lot of people don't have experience playing against Lux. She really has not been in the meta at all in this set so far. When people have been playing EDM, they've been playing Jax. They haven't been playing Lux. So they're just kind of like not in the habit of positioning to work around Lux targeting the edges of the board. So I'm going to take advantage of that in this game. I am going to be scouting, and I'm going to be trying to do my best to take advantage of that. All right. I have gotten the, here's the loot benefit for this this stage. It's a Tome of Traits. Now, I was really hoping to pull Dazzler trait because then I could get 6 Dazzler in with just TF instead of needing TF plus Ziggs. Well, I don't get that. And the other stuff is not great. Big Shot Emblem is completely useless. I'm not playing through MF. I decided I'll take the Guardian Emblem, and then that allows me to cut Tarek out of the comp, which is great, because Tarek kind of sucks. He's just not a good unit. I'll still hold him here if for some reason I would want him later on, but he's really not a good unit. So I'm happy to drop that, and then I'm going to go ahead and make Spiro Shojin on TF. So good news is I do find TF. Now that gets me up to 5 Dazzlers, so I'm still hoping to find Ziggs to get the 6 Dazzler in. That'll be really, really nice if I can find him. Realistically, I probably have to be level 9 to find him, but you never know. Might be able to have some luck at finding him. But just getting TF is really nice because TF synergizes very nicely with Lux. By the way, I get reinforced on in this round, and Zed kind of walked into my back lines and killed everything. So I am going to lose this fight after being on a nice little win streak there, but wasn't enough. 2v1 is going to stop me here. All right. So Tome of Traits did not quite get me what I wanted, but the Guardian Emblem is not terrible. Now it's time for the last gift round here in double up mode, and I actually get the option to do another Tome of Traits. So I'm going to pull that, and do I get the Dazzler Emblem here? No, again, no Dazzler Emblem. Now I could have taken Jazz, also a possibility, but I'm going to end up taking the Sentinel Emblem as well. And that's because I know I'm not going to play any more Sentinels on my board. So I was like, let's just get another trait in play. We'll just go ahead and put this in. And this does 2 things. It gives an item for Cybernetics benefit for the for Gragas, who otherwise wouldn't have it. And it also just gets Sentinel trait in for my whole team. Now, would it have been better to... Oh, by the way, there's a Ziggs. I was like, oh my god, Ziggs. That is awesome. So that gets me to the 6 Dazzler. More on that in a second. So you could make a case of, should I have tried to instead take the Jazz Emblem? And maybe it would have been better to take the Jazz Emblem there. That would have gotten Jazz trait in play. It's debatable. I do have quite a few traits in play, so that might have been good. But I did like the idea of just Sentinel trait giving literally the entire team extra armor and MR. I think that was pretty good. By the way, does Thresh win this? No, but it was pretty close. Pretty close. That Viego did a lot of damage. And unfortunately now, board's going to go over and reinforce against ASM. So this lobby is looking pretty close here. There's one team that's on low HP, but then another team that's a little bit more health than us. By the way, I'm going to send this Yorick over to his board. That was the unit he was looking for. And then out of these 3 options, I believe antisocialmunky is going to take the 3 components. Okay, so what am I looking for right now? Well, I have, my board is in pretty good shape. I've kind of hit all the units I want, but I want to get more items for Twisted Fate. He still just has the Shojin. I definitely want to get some attack speed for him. And then, there's a Lux. By the way, antisocialmunky also has a Lux that he's going to be able to send me. There's a TF. I thought I would roll a little bit more in the hopes of hitting some of these units because I was close to Lux 3-star. And I ended up hitting 2-star TF, and I ended up hitting Blitz 2-star. So I was like, all right, now I think I can maybe look to go level 9. I don't think I need to roll anymore at this point in time. So we'll readjust to see who is getting the Disco benefit. And now that I've hit TF 2-star and Blitz 2-star, I think I'm good to go to level 9. So that's definitely going to help. That's going to give me significantly more frontline. Now, of course, what I want to do is I want to take out this Kate. That person has true damage Kate in the back lines, but Lex is going to snipe her. And this board completely falls apart as soon as the Kate dies. There's really no other sources of damage. So yeah, my board's looking pretty strong. Definitely high rolling pretty good in this game to find all these Luxes. So I just need to find one more Lux because ASM is going to be able to send me a Lux in a couple of rounds, and that gets me to 8, so then I just need to find the 9th one. All right, on this board here, I'm looking for Twisted Fate items. The good news is there's a lot of good Twisted Fate items here. I mean, I can always take Ionic Spark just to debuff the enemy magic resistance, but I think I do better just putting items on TF in particular. So I was thinking hard, do I want the Death Cap or do I want the Gnasher's Tooth? Gnasher's Tooth is a much better item. He needs attack speed, and Gnasher's Tooth is probably his best attack speed item. There's also good synergy here because I already have the Spear of Shojin, which is going to give extra mana on every auto attack. So Gnasher's Tooth giving extra attack speed and ability power synergizes really nicely with that. The alternate was I could have taken the Death Cap, and the argument for that would be, well, just take the Death Cap because of the Alawi. Oh, I know. I was rolling here for the Lux. I wanted one more Lux, so I was rolling here. But I don't hit the Lux. I do hit another Ziggs. So I guess I didn't look to go 9. I decided I was going to roll for one more Lux. Maybe a little bit greedy of me. Maybe I should have just gone to 9. But it makes sense. As I said, we're effectively on 8 Luxes here and just need one more. So the argument for taking the Death Cap would have been I could have played Alawi. And then the argument would have been take out Gragas. Just replace Gragas with Alawi. That would drop me down to 3 disco, but again, I'm not really playing through disco trade here. 3 disco would be plenty. And just having Alawi over Gragas probably would have been better because Alawi's so much better of a unit than Gragas. But I did not think about that too much. That was the moment to make that decision. It would have been going from Gragas 2-star to Alawi 1-star, but that's probably still a better unit. But is it better to do that while also dropping from 4 disco down to 3 disco? That's kind of a harder calculation to make. Anyway, I am on 2 out of 3 Zig, so I was definitely telling antisocialmunky keep an eye out for that. He is going to send the Lux though, because that gets me to the 8. So I was like, all right, I'm going to keep rolling for Lux. Maybe I can hit one more Lux. I don't want to go to 9 until I hit this Lux 3-star. Like, I've been winning these rounds, but I'm going to be so much stronger if I can just hit one more Lux. Oh, by the way, I see that I'm going to be up against this person who's playing Karthus, or almost certainly against this person playing Karthus. True damage Karthus. By the way, they have double true damage emblems, so they could actually look to go 9 true damage with that, which is pretty scary. But in any case, I shift Lux over to the other side, and then Lux ult plus ticking Dazzler damage actually kills the Karthus, and that together with the Viego are the main carries on this board. So yeah, actually going to win that round as well. That Viego, by the way, pretty terrifying with all the setup over there. 6 true damage Viego, 6 true damage Karthus, something like that. I'm not sure how much true damage they have. But they both have true damage emblems, and I believe it's 7 pentakill over there, so that's pretty wild. Some other people are also are definitely hitting more from the Tome of Traits than I am. I mean, I could be on like 8 Dazzler right now or something. Imagine if I'd pulled 2 Dazzler emblems from those Tome of Traits. What it would allow me to do is it would allow me to cut the crummy Dazzler units from my team. Like I could take the Bard out, and like instead of playing Bard, I could play, I don't know, something else. You could just play. I could have played like the MF or something instead, because Dazzler. That would give me Jazz trait, but on a unit that's a lot better than the Bard. What Dazzler, does that apply to physical damage as well? No, it deals bonus magic damage, so I wouldn't want to play an MF, or that would not have actually worked there. By the way, look at this. This is what we get for the gift round here. We just get a ton of gold. So I was like, oh, well, let's roll for Lux here, and then we'll go up to level 9. I should be able to find Lux with this much gold. Rolling. Oh my goodness gracious! That was the God tier shop. Lux 3-star and Ziggs 2-star. Oh my god. Okay, let's go. Yeah, you can't get better results than that. So that is some real high rolling in this game. Let's be clear. I hit Ziggs 2-star on level 8 without even needing to go to level 8. That's no Ziggs off carousel or anything like that. Jeez. Okay. Well, now we have 3-star Lux with 6 Dazzler in and the old Razzle Dazzle. So now Lux is just absolutely cranked in this game. Plus, I'm even going to have Zac sampling her ultimate, which is going to be great. Now, does the sampled ult also deal Dazzler damage? I think it does. Not 100% sure on that. So this round is actually going to knock out the team that's in 3rd place. So now it's down to just us and this other team. So now the plan is just go level 9. We'll put Lucian in for Jazz trade, and boom. That gets us 1, 2... I'm not exactly sure how many traits that gets us. So the one other thing we have to look at, by the way, this is the other disco player. 5 disco, 4 Dazzler. They're actually playing a Zed headliner. And they're actually getting really close to 3-star Zed. We're like, oh man, I hope they don't hit 3-star Zed. That's going to be annoying if they get 3-star Zed. Zed has pretty good Zed items: Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster, and the Quicksilver Sash. Their actual Disco Dazzler setup is kind of weak, but the Zed is looking pretty strong. And they have a very well itemized Blitzcrank. They also have double Sentinel. No, they have 1 Sentinel emblem. I have a Sentinel emblem as well. So yeah, Lux ults and just the TF dies instantly. So that takes out most of the damage on the team. And then it's really just the Zed. But once we've killed everything else, everybody focuses the Zed and gets CC'd, and yeah, so we win that round pretty easily. Now, can we get over to ASM's board just in time? He was about to lose that round. Excellent. Yeah, there's the Karthus with the true damage emblem over there. Pretty intimidating, but yeah, still able to win that round. And like I said, now I'm just going to go to level 9. Should be able to do that probably after the carousel, and then we'll get excuse me, and then we'll get the Jazz trait in as well, because I have that Lucian sitting on my bench. Okay, they did manage to hit 2-star TF. So there's no point in going for 3-star TF this game. They already have 3 TFs out of the pool. We'll never be able to hit 3-star TF. So it makes more sense just to go to 9 and try to finish 2-starring this board. As I said, I do have 2 out of 3 Zacs, but I don't have the last Zac, and then I'm looking for Lucian. All right, so I'm up against the true damage board again. True damage and, pentakill. So I'm going to shift Lux over to the other side of the board so she hits Karthus. Look at the tixing Dazzler damage. It's really insane how Dazzler damage just ticks away and kills everything as soon as they get hit. I will say that Twisted Fate is a really nice unit to play alongside Lux. Obviously, they're both Dazzlers, so they're going to get played together a lot. But TF is single target damage. He throws all his cards at like 1 or 2 targets, whereas Lux kind of spaces out damage across the board. So the two of them work together really nicely. Like I said, single target damage for TF, multi-targeted damage for Lux. Now, the only thing we need is just we need them not to hit Zed 3-star, because if they hit Zed 3-star, this is going to get more difficult. Oh, there's a Zed on the carousel and they pick first, right? We just won enough rounds for them to pick first on the carousel. Like, really? Seriously? Like, really? Come on. Like, come on, man. Ah, man. So now they have Zed 3-star. Yeah, it's going to pop up on the interface, but like now they have Zed 3-star. We're like, seriously? Now we have to deal with this too? That's such a pain in the butt. Well, anyway, at least I was able to take another good item for Twisted Fate here. So I've been having very good luck at hitting stuff for him off the carousels. Gnasher's Tooth, Shojin, Deathcap, very, very good items for him. I mean, I could pick up the Ziggs here, but I already have Ziggs 2-stars. Like, I'm not going to hit Ziggs 3-stars. Like, come on. But I do hit the Zac, so I've kind of hit my entire board now. The only thing it would be would just to 2-star the Lucian. Anyway, so I'm going to have to deal with the Z3. This is not what I want to deal with. Well, we'll see how it goes. There's the Z3 over there. All right, now the good news is Zed is missing something on this board. And that is Crowd Diver trait. There are no Crowd Divers on the board. They really should have put Kiana on this team. But the problem was Kiana was being played by their partner because the other partner's playing a true damage setup. So, yeah, Zed, he didn't do a whole lot there, folks. He didn't do a whole lot. So we won that round pretty easily. Unfortunately, I was not able to get over in time to save ASM's board. It did manage to kill most of it, but... yeah, that board's pretty strong, and they're actually getting closing in on 3-star Viego and 3-star Karthus as well, so we really should be picking up some of them. 7 pentakill, 6 true damage. That is wild. Wild. 7 pentakill is good on its own. 6 true damage on top of that is pretty nutty. Like, that's why that Viego is so strong. He has 7 pentakill in, plus 6 true damage with an emblem. Whew, okay, yeah, that's pretty good right there. That's pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to send a Yorick over to ASM, and that actually makes Yorick 2-star for his board. So I was actually able to send him 2 out of 3 Yoricks in this game. We were able to use the sends very, very effectively throughout this game. And then I was going to grab this Kiana, but then I was like, oh, wait, they already have Kiana 2-star as well. Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty good. So now I'm hoping I can win this round against this board. I was thinking of swapping Lux to the other side, but I wanted to see if they would do a last-second swap. I thought the last couple rounds, by the way, a great stun there on the Viego, just in time to keep Viego from... Viego was about to ult and kill my entire team, but we managed to get him stunned. I didn't even see who it was that got that stun off, but somebody got it, and he was just standing there CC'd long enough for Lux to kill him. Anyway, though, yeah, I was thinking of swapping the Lux to the other side, but like I had been doing that repeatedly against that board, and they never moved. So I was like, all right, this round they're definitely going to see that I'm doing this and move, so I'll stay in place. But no, they continued to stay, but fortunately we managed to win anyway in a very close round. So yeah, 7 pentakill, 6 true damage. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, my friends. But we were still able to win against that. Actually on an 8-match winning streak here. They're down on 1 HP, so we're hoping that we can beat them and get them out of the lobby. Just have to win one more round to get them out of this lobby. All right, but then over there, they're going to hit Yorick 2-star. That's not great. So going to continue rolling here. I'm really just looking for that last Lucian. This is when I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should have played a Lowy over Gragas, but I think it's too late to do that now. And then watch, 2-star Karthus on the interface. 3-star Karthus, what? Oh my god, they just made 3-star Karthus. That's 7 pentakill, 6 true damage, 3-star Karthus. I was like, oh my god. I have to win this round here because I've already beaten the Z3. I have to win this board because there's no way that ASM's going to be able to beat that board. So I'm like, come on. We got to win this round and win it quickly before they can come over here and reinforce. We've killed everything except Zed. Zed's dead. Boom. All right. That's GG. So we are, in fact, able to prevail over the 3-star Zed, who, by the way, just really did nothing. ASM beat the 3-star Zed as well. But we're able to prevail over that board and also over the Karthus, although, to be fair, we didn't actually kill the Karthus. But They were on 1 HP when they hit the 3-star Karthus, so able to knock out their partner and get the first place. But yeah, what a game that was. Give them the old Razzle Dazzle indeed. 6 Dazzler, Lux, TF, Ziggs just doing work in this game. I was really happy with how this game came together. The opposition was tough, but we managed to put together some really strong boards and win out regardless. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, take care, folks. See you again soon.